All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. First round of the NFL draft is done for. Um, Interesting to say the least. I think, obviously we got an elephant in the room, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. Um, Tyler already said it a bunch of times, and I'm gonna just say it. I mean, I gotta give him his props. He was right. Shedeur fell out of the first round.
Yeah, I mean, it's the. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised. I'm just going to be honest. I was surprised that he fell out of the first round. I mean, I kind of figured that something happened because he was supposed to be a top 5 pick, and he didn't even go in the first round. So it's like I said. I think personally, my opinion, I think it was a full body of work. I don't think that
I agree.
the hype wasn't enough.
I agree. I mean, like you said, two years at Colorado. First year they were bad. Second
They
year,
were
nice
trash.
turnaround.
Yeah, I think
But
he
they still didn't beat a ranked team the entire
could he
time.
could he have came back.
I th- I think so. I think he had one more year eligibility because he was still part of the COVID year. So
He and the JUCO thing.
yeah,
Jackson State was JUCO.
was it? I don't think so. Jackson State's not
Okay,
JUCO.
maybe, yeah, maybe not. But Jacksonville taking Travis Hunter was a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah,
I
I wasn't expecting it.
when I seen the trade, I said, "Oh no, they're about to do it. They're about to take Shedeur."
Nah, I thought they were about to take like Abdul Carter or somebody because their defense has struggled.
I thought they were going to take a quarterback.
So all right, let's roll through the picks. Obviously,
Okay,
number
so
one, Cam Ward.
Cam Ward went number one
That's
for obvious reasons.
exactly.
They needed a quarterback. Um, Travis Hunter went number two. I think he's going to play defense more than offense because, like they said, it's going to be hard. It's harder in the NFL to, if you're playing on both sides of the ball, you can't adjust on the fly. This ain't Colorado. This ain't, these are $100 million players that you're guarding. They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you.
Yeah, he won't be a receiver full time because there's still a lot he needs to work on.
Yeah, but great quarterback with Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence. This is it for Trevor Lawrence. I got a feeling this is it. No more excuses. You got Brian Thomas and a Heisman Trophy winning receiver.
yeah.
So Abdul Carter went to the Giants. That wasn't a shocker. Their defense, they needed that. Will Campbell to LSU also. Will Campbell to the Patriots also again not a surprise. People were worried about his arms being short, and Nick Saban came out and said that didn't. He's a three-time All-American, so if you have short arms, he said, well, that didn't slow him down at LSU.
Exactly.
So I mean, you're an All American. Uh, he's the kind of guy. I don't want to be biased, but he's the kind of guy you want on your team, just for sure.
I
Mason Graham went to the Browns. What were
I
you gonna say?
personally, I no, I was gonna say I was personally surprised by Mason Graham getting selected by the Browns because their defense is already pretty solid. You're adding in a player who's just gonna fit into a defensive unit that's already good. I'm not saying they should have I'm not saying they should have took Shador right here with the fifth pick, but I don't know. The way the first round went, quarterback wise, just seemed like nobody really wanted any of these guys except for like Cam Ward, obviously at number one.
Yeah. Genty went to the Raiders. That was obvious. They said they were taking him.
Needed a running back,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, they needed a running back. They can take the pressure off Gino.
Yeah. Plus, he's too good of a prospect to pass on him at that point.
Yeah. The Jets took Armand Menabu, the tackle from Missouri, for obvious reasons, protect Justin Fields. Their offensive line was terrible.
Awful.
McMillan went to the uh, Panthers. That was a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, it was, but I understand why they went for him because he's a big target, big
Yeah,
body,
big,
good
yeah, big
range,
receiver.
good hands. But the only red flag is that he struggled against tough competition in college.
Yeah, yeah, he struggled. Yeah, can he get open against in the NFL?
So,
The Saints taking Kelvin Banks was a little bit of a surprise too. Really wasn't expecting that either.
but like you said,
I was
big
for
picture,
sure. Yeah, big picture.
they're
They need help on the offensive line. You can get a quarterback later if you want me to be honest. Quinn Ewers is going to be here today if you want him.
yeah, there's still plenty of quarterbacks there. So if you feel like you want to take one, only two quarterbacks that went in the first round were
Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. Um, Colston Loveland went to the Bears. Another weapon for Caleb Williams. I thought they probably should have went offensive line there, but I guess getting somebody he can dump the ball off to. Uh, how do you pronounce it? Michael Williams from Georgia
oh yeah, Michael
went
Williams.
to. They needed another pass rusher. They let go of. They let go. They lost a lot on defense, so they're probably going to go defense heavy here. The 49ers.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of people were mad with the Cowboys taking Tyler Booker. I mean, Zach Martin retired. I mean, he's going to be in the hall. He's going to be a Hall of Fame. I mean, guard. I mean, he's one of the best guards.
yeah. I don't have a problem with the Cowboys. Normally the Cowboys they tend to hit on their
A
picks.
lot of people are saying that that's a typical Cowboy pick, but you got to protect your $300 million quarterback, and Tyler Booker is a great offensive lineman. So
Yep, and they're another one of those teams that if they really want to, they can take a quarterback later.
yeah, so I don't hate the pick. I know a lot of people are saying they wanted Amari and Hampton, but you can get a running back later. There's plenty that, in my opinion, are better than Hampton, but that's just my opinion. Kenneth Grant going to Miami. That made sense. Calais Campbell went back to Arizona, so they needed a defensive tackle. Kenneth Grant's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
The Colts getting Tyler Warren. He's the Swiss Army knife. You can line him up anywhere you want to. He can do anything. Run the ball, fullback, running back, tight end, receiver, quarterback. He can do it. He can do it all. So that was a good pick for them. They needed that.
perfect weapon for whoever wins that quarterback battle.
Yeah, for whoever wins. Jalen Walker going to the Falcons. The Falcons traded up to get him too. Again, made sense. No. I'm sorry. That was their pick. They traded up to get James Pierce. Walter Nolan went to the Cardinals. Again, their defense sucked, so they needed some. They needed some people on defense. The
Yeah,
Bengals took Shamir Stewart. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the first round was really a lot of defensive players, like
Yeah,
a couple of like a few skill position, and then like a lot of
and it's
offensive
no.
line.
I don't mean this in disrespect to anybody that's in the NFL draft this year because obviously they're the best, but there really was no you know home run hitter. If you want me to be honest, like you could have made an argument that anybody could have went number one. Tennessee just happened to need a quarterback. I mean, you could have made an argument for Abdul Carter going number one. The Bengals did the Bengals thing. They took Shamir Stewart. Shamir. I'm not how you pronounce his first name.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in that pick. He just didn't have the stats. He has the build. He has the potential. He's everything you want. He just didn't have the stats. I would have wished. I mean, we could have got James Pierce Jr. or um, the other guy from Texas A&M. Pretty sure he got drafted. Maybe not. Anyway, the Seahawks got Gray Zabel, a guard from North Dakota State. They just they need offensive line help because their offensive line was pretty trash. This was a shocker for Green or from Tampa Bay to take Amika Ibuka. That was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I thought they might have went more of somebody
I
on the
thought that they would have
defensive
took
side.
defense. Yeah,
That's
like
what I was
Will
thinking too.
Johnson or um the Maxwell Harrison, or whatever the dude's name is from Kentucky, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
But I get it. Chris Godwin is you don't really know what you're going to get from him, and you need to replace a Hall of Famer in Mike Evans because I think he might retire next year. And Chris Godwin, if you even look at it, he gets hurt when he's healthy. He's really good. It's the health part, and they don't really have anybody else aside from those two, other than their tight end. And they were making it work, but Abuka's a deep threat.
true.
Um, the Broncos took Jahad Barron. I don't know how you pronounce his name,
Oh, it's Jade.
but Jim Thorpe Award winner last year, the best corner in football. I mean, that dude was really good. And
I mean, again,
you're pairing him with Pat Surtain on one side and him on the other. So two Jim Thorpe Award winners. So their
yeah,
defense just got even better. He's
yeah, it
gonna play.
definitely did. It definitely did. He's gone. I mean, even if he doesn't start right away, I mean, be a he'll be a.
I expect them to get a running back today. The Broncos, they need one. They let go of Javante Williams.
I could see them taking if either one of them falls, I could see like Judkins or Travion Henderson, one of those.
Yeah, for sure. Where am I? Pittsburgh taking Harmon kind of shocked me a little bit too. I thought
That
they were going to take Shador.
that one is the I'm right there with you. I thought for sure Shador falling there, they
But
won.
he
They
fell
won.
right into their lap. And they
That was
passed
a
on him
perfect
for a
opportunity.
defensive tackle. They don't even have a quarterback. Something I don't
Something's
mean to
going
veer
on.
off. I don't mean to veer off topic here, but for you to take a defensive tackle when you don't even have a quarterback blew my mind. You're
Yeah,
telling
something's
me you would rather have Mason Rudolph over Shador Sanders. I mean, I know I've talked a lot of crap about Shador, but I mean he's better than um, Mason Rudolph.
oh yeah, by far.
So I don't get it. I guess they're hoping on Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what they're doing unless they're trying to get somebody else.
We'll see. I mean, they still could. I mean, the second round, and there's still quarterbacks out there. Quinn Ewers, Tyler Shook.
The Amari and Hampton to the Chargers was a little surprising too because they just signed Najee Harris.
Yeah, and
That was a little
honestly,
surprising to me too.
I think I know why they did it because what was the guy that they signed over there from the Ravens? I can't remember his name, but he was always hurt. He got hurt again this year too.
Oh, that's right. No, they traded him, didn't they? I can't. I don't know why you
No, I
asked me
don't.
that.
I don't think they did, but I'm pretty sure that's why they went and got Omarion Hampton, so they could have a solid backup to pair with Najee. Which, again, nothing
What's his
wrong with it,
name?
but
I wish
I
you wouldn't ask me that. Now, hold
I'm
on. I gotta
sorry.
look. I gotta look. Hold on.
But you go ahead. I'll just but yeah, no, I don't. I kind of figured they'd take something again.
J.K. Dobbins.
There you go. This is another one of those teams that I thought would, probably go defense because that's kind of where their positional needs are.
Yeah,
Offensively, if anything, you would have gotten like another receiver just in
that's
case
what I was
Quentin
thinking.
Johnston
I was
doesn't
I was
like.
wondering if they were going to go receiver, so they're not running Ladd McConkey into the ground. But
But I mean, again, they still have Quentin Johnston, and it's going to be his second season coming up. So I mean, plus there's plenty of draft left. I mean, they can find somebody in the third or fourth round.
yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's still some good receivers that haven't even been taken yet.
Oh yeah.
Matthew Golden to Green Bay. They need a receiver. I wasn't surprised on that one. Um, the Vikings taking Donovan Jackson, offensive line. They needed that to protect whoever they're gonna. I'm assuming it's gonna be JJ McCarthy, but they said that they might bring Kirk Cousins back. So they are shopping for a quarterback, is what they said. So JJ McCarthy must not be the answer, or he's not ready.
No, there's no telling with that. There's
This
no.
one
I
I
don't.
wasn't. Okay, so New York traded back into the first round and got Jackson Dart. I
I'm
was
okay with
not
that.
surprised. I wasn't surprised. I thought they were going to get Shador. I thought, okay, it makes sense. They're getting when they traded, they were getting a quarterback. That was obvious. But I thought about it and I was like, no, it makes sense. Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, they're kind of they're similar. That's exactly what Brian Dable is going to be. That's what he wants. So Jackson Dart can be everything that Russell Wilson is. Um, the Falcons traded in and got James Pierce Jr. Good pick. They need defense. They don't really need anything offensively, not really.
Yeah, I
You
think
can put
it's
him on the other side of Will Anderson. Isn't that where he went?
who.
No, he went to the Texans. Who went to the Falcons?
Uh, was it not? What?
Was it? No, Will Anderson's at the Texans.
I can't
Whoever,
remember
whoever
exactly
they
who.
got, whoever they got. The Falcons went and got James Pierce Jr. Good pick, good defense. Their defense kind of lacked a little bit.
Yeah, their defense hasn't really been good since I think maybe a year or two after they went on that Super Bowl run.
The Ravens getting Malachi Starks is pretty good. Him and Kyle Hamilton will be a great duo for sure.
They just need to go get a receiver now in the second or third round.
Yeah, for sure. You know who wouldn't be a bad pickup for them? I know it might be a little crazy. They haven't come to an agreement yet. I think they should get Mason Taylor. I don't want to. I'm not trying to be biased, but I think he could do exactly what Mark Andrews was doing, if not a little bit better.
Possibility.
But yeah, yes, they should get some sort of weapon on offense. The Lions got Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State. I don't really know much about him. They need defense. They need defense. Their whole defense got hurt last year, so
Just a quick side note: defensive tackle has become a premium position in the last like few years
yeah,
in the
defensive
NFL.
tackle and defensive end, yeah, for sure. I mean, well, if you got to think about it, the run game is kind of coming back to the league now. You know, a couple years ago, running backs weren't getting drafted in the first two rounds. It was rare if you seen one getting drafted in the first round.
True.
So, um, the Commanders took Josh Conley Jr. tackle from Oregon. They needed that. They needed offense. They need O line help because their offensive line kind of sucked. They don't really need anything else. Offensively, they got enough firepower, but that part's fine. I
True.
do want to see them get a running back and um, maybe a safety or not a safety, a corner. Marshawn, no disrespect to Marshawn Lattimore, but he's getting kind of old. He got burned a few times.
He was out there getting hooked.
Um, the Bills took Maxwell Harrison. Good pick. He was good at Kentucky. He couldn't help Kentucky suck, but he was actually pretty good. The Eagles traded to get Jahad Campbell. Uh, again, solid pick. They don't need anything offensively. You don't need anything. They need defense. You know, he can rotate. N'Kobe Dean got hurt. They just gave Zach Bond like 50, $60 million. So, and then the Chiefs took some offensive lineman from Ohio State, Josh Simmons.
That's actually a solid pick for them. Even though it came at the end of the first round, but solid pick because obviously they need to help protecting Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't have a mock draft for the second round, so I can look at
Well,
like best available. But
the main thing I'll say is in a mock draft that I saw is they had sheduer going to the Browns, first pick of the second round.
yeah,
Some names are starting to come off the board. I saw Luther Burden in there. Um, I saw Jalen Milroe to the Rams, which was kind of weird, but I guess
well, again, he doesn't have to play. They got some young players. Matthew Stafford has been getting hurt here lately, so it makes sense.
it just doesn't make sense to me because of the style of
Here, it's
offense
like
that
I
they
told you
run.
what I told you earlier. Perfect spot for him to go is the New Orleans Saints. Kellen Moore just came from winning the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I
Why
agree.
not go get Milrow? It's the same person, same thing. Big physical runner. You know, yeah, he's not gonna throw. He might every now and then have a good passing game.
I think even if
Do exactly what you did in Philly. Yes, New Orleans doesn't have the firepower Philly does, but you could get it. You got a good running back in Alvin Kamara. He's solid. He's everything you with Milrow. Him and Kamara would be perfect. You could run that read option together. You know, maybe go get you a. You don't even really need a running back because that's what Milrow's for. But you've seen what Saquon just did. But again, you got a good. Again, you got Alvin Kamara. He's perfectly fine. You just go get him a wide receiver or two. And I think the Saints would be pretty good. They've always had a pretty solid defense.
yeah,
So
I'd say he probably
people
just
were screaming the Saints were going to the Super Bowl after the first two games when they won by 30 points, and then everybody got hurt.
he if they were to take him into today's round, I just don't think he needs to play early.
Oh no,
Play him
I don't
towards
think
like the
so
end of
either.
the season where nothing really matters, and like see or if whoever your starting quarterback is just playing that bad, it couldn't be any worse if you throw him in there. But for the most part, put him in towards the end of the season. If your season isn't going great, let him play out the rest, and then he's your starter going forward.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But like you said, Saints make the most sense. You got Kellen Moore, who's coming off a Super Bowl run, and you saw what he did with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
So
him and Milrow, same thing, same
exactly.
person. Um, I don't really see anything crazy happening in the second round. I don't really see anybody
Honestly,
that's just gonna really surprise.
second round, I think we're gonna see a couple of more maybe I think this is where we're gonna see the most quarterbacks go. Is second round. We might see maybe just a couple more than what we saw in the first round. I'm thinking maybe Tyler Shook, um, Milrose projected in the second round. Obviously sheduer, and maybe it might be a reach on my end, but Quinn Ewers. I can see
That's
those
what I
four
was
guys
going to
going
say.
to
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. This is rounds 2 and 3. So,
Yeah. So I mean, third round we could probably see like a Dylan Gabriel or a Will Howard.
yeah. 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 So, but yeah, that's who did you like the most? Who do you think that, what teams do you think made the right picks? Won the draft.
I think the Jaguars trading up to take Travis Hunter was
I
big
respect
time,
it. Yeah. You have
in
to.
my opinion.
There, you only get once. Now, whether or not he's going to be a generational talent, I can't tell you. But based on what he did in college, you can't let that pass you by.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't. It's hard to overlook.
So you've got a good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't have to just come in and be the number one receiver. They have Brian Thomas. He proved he's going to be the number one. You know,
Yeah.
play him on defense, bring him in on offense on third down in the red zone. You know, just have packages for him.
Um,
I'm
I'm
gonna
I'm obviously
say.
go ahead.
Let me look. Go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
Oh, so I'm gonna just be biased and say the Patriots too, because I mean you have a cornerstone, uh, you have a cornerstone tackle now, a franchise tackle with Will Campbell. Like you were talking about in the speech that he gave earlier, he said he's willing to die to protect um
Drake May
Drake
with
May.
everything he has. Yeah, that's the kind of guy you want. I mean, he started as a freshman, All
This is
American.
a
You
this is
know,
a 3-time All-American starter.
yeah, and he's young. Yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but I mean,
It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog.
yeah, and obviously he has that, in my opinion. I'm gonna say the steal of the draft.
If I had to say a steal, and this is obviously kind of far out, I'm probably gonna say Jackson Dart at
That's what
26
I
to
was gonna say to the
the
Giants. Yeah,
Giants.
yeah, because all the defensive players, you know, yes, they contribute, but I'm curious to see what McMillan does in Carolina.
I was thinking that too.
I think that was a good pick for them. They needed that. They need to get. Obviously, you've seen what Bryce could do at the back end of the season with basically nothing. So maybe go get him one of the best receivers in the draft. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's who do you think did something stupid? Like you were like, well, that didn't really make any sense.
No, no, it made sense. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be honest, the Browns, because why they took a defensive tackle at pick 5, I just do not understand. Don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting anything, you know, Mason Graham did because he was great at Michigan,
Yeah,
but to take him at 5 when you could have went any other direction is kind of crazy. You traded, I mean, don't good trade because you got more trade assets, but the pick I just didn't. I wasn't a fan.
right. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. But yeah, that's basically all I got.
Yeah, no, that's it for me too. So
Other than I told you Shador wasn't going to get picked.
I already gave you your props. I'm not going no further than that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us here on this episode. We got the rest of the draft coming, so as the round go, work on get some episodes out for the rounds that are done. Um,
So if Cleveland doesn't take Shador, what happens? Do you think somebody's going to trade for him? He's getting picked today. If he doesn't get picked today, boy, I don't see it happening.
uh, I feel like if he doesn't get picked in the second round, the very latest that he's gonna go is maybe mid late third. It's just too. I don't think too many teams are gonna continue to pass on him like that. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think somebody that even may not need a quarterback might take him. So, but yeah, I agree.
Well, if
But
you
yeah,
watch the
that's
first round and whoever your favorite team is, tell us how you felt about their pick. That's gonna do it for us. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up, and we'll catch you on the next episode.